hoped it would be. But let's talk about the adventures of Jim and Larry.
Love it.
So we just went and did some crazy adventures. Let's do a quick recap, and then let's update everyone why we're doing these, what we're doing next, or what we should do next, and go from there. So we just got back from Puerto Vallarta, or as the locals say, just Vallarta. They don't include the Porta. I don't know why, but they don't.
Or some say PV.
PV. This is true. So we were down in Puerto Vallarta, and what all did we do? I'll name a couple, and then you name some. We zip-lined through the rainforest.
Yes.
We drove a dune buggy through mountainous puddles and drove through the rainforest.
Yes.
We went on a pirate adventure, which was amazing, by the way.
Yeah, we saw Cirque du Soleil performance on a deserted island with no electricity. That was pretty cool. It was lit by, I think, 3,000 to 4,000 candles.
Yeah, it was amazing.
But I think for me, the most adventuresome, we signed up for this outdoor adventure trip, and I never read the brochure. I just thought, I don't really know what I thought, but
you weren't thinking. Or
I wasn't thinking. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. It's kind of like the Hudson River sewage. If you don't know it exists, it doesn't hurt you.
Right.
So like I didn't know it, so I went blindly into it. But we went rappelling. We went ziplining. We went on a zipline roller coaster, holding like
handheld
roller coaster. Went down a 1,000-foot water slide. I climbed
aerial surfboard over a 1,000-foot canyon.
Yes, aerial surfboarding. It was thrilling and scary and extreme, and I have a fear of heights. Like if I would have never done it. And the amazing part was I was the oldest one there by about almost 21 years.
And the lady in front of you said, I would never do this if I was 50.
50, right. She's like, I wouldn't recommend this for anyone at 50. And I said, I'm 61. So I was really...
But you also didn't get stuck, and she got stuck.
She got stuck four times. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
again, metaphor for her life.
Right. I mean, to me, that's what the adventures of Jim and Larry were. This was a brilliant adventure of both the mind and the body, because I had to use mind in matter to get through some of these things for me. But the funny part of it was, can I tell the funny part?
I don't know.
Well, okay. Well, I did all these things, and like I was feeling fine at the end of it. Like other people had like aches and pains that were sore. I'm like, I feel fine. And then on the boat ride back to the mainland, like we went over this wave, and my like butt was sitting obviously incorrectly on the seat, and it bounced up and it twisted my hip.
Larry broke a hip.
So it really hurt. But yeah, so
it's because you're over 50.
I know. Right. So but the good thing was we found lots of massage places in Vallarta. And soon I was feeling a little bit better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
So, like, why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this? There's a lot of people. I love when Jen just starts laughing next to me and no one knows why. And no one knows she's laughing but me. And then I start laughing and people think I'm weird. Well, I am weird. Yes. Anyway, so why are we doing this? What's the psychological importance of this for you? I can tell you for me, but I want to hear from you first.
For me, this is the last 6 months have been a time when people are cutting back, people are restrictive about the places they go, the people they see. People are doing less, they're quarantining more, they're doing all this stuff. And I just remember, I don't remember how it evolved, but I just kind of remember talking to Jim, and I was like, let's do the opposite. Let's live life more during this time. And let's not only do it for us, because I really, really wanted to do it for myself. I'm like, I am tired of staying small. Like, I want to play large again. But I also just wanted to demonstrate it for other people that no matter what's going on, and no matter where you are, that you own your life, that you can make what you want of it. So we've done some amazing traveling in the last couple of weeks. We have some incredible trips coming up, all
Where are we looking?
all at a time when people are saying be careful, and that's for me. What about for you?
So, well, first of all, where are we looking? We just talked about, like, I think three cities that we're exploring right now to potentially go in 2 weeks or 3.
Yeah, so we're looking at going to Mongolia and outer China, Antarctica, and we're looking at going to Africa, but we've decided we're going to the Ozarks. No, just joking. My dad, that's an insight. My dad used to always say when I was in high school, people say, where are you looking at colleges? Oh, Harvard, Yale, Stanford. Where are you going? Oh, community college.
Right.
But anyways, sorry, folks. Yeah, so where are we looking? We're looking at Dubai, Singapore, Aruba. We're looking at maybe Thailand. We're looking at countries that are more friendly and accepting U.S. visitors. Obviously, there's restrictions, so we play within those restrictions.
I want to go to Wuhan. I heard the food is excellent. Wash your hands. As long as the bat's clean before you eat it, it's fine.
So what's all this about for you?
Yeah, so for me, it was the last, I will say, 18 months have collectively been the best and the worst of my entire life. It's been a roller coaster of emotion and pain and physical challenge and rebuilding, rebirthing. And so for me, there's a song out called Live Like You Were Dying.
Right.
And honestly, for me, I was told I was dying. So, and while that was happening, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I haven't even lived yet, and it's over. And I even told my kids goodbye. Like, it was like a rough spot. So then I started getting better. Then I started going through a divorce, right? So it's like ups, downs. And, what I want to do is I want to experience culture, and I want to experience the things that other people say that they can't do, because a year and a half ago I would have thought I couldn't do them either. So for me, for my children, it's about setting an example. And I remember for 4 years I was trying to remember this stupid phrase that I had heard, and I was like, it's whatever the brain thinks it can do, or something. I'm trying to remember it. And I'm on the phone with somebody one time, and I'm trying to remember it while I'm on the phone in my home office that I had for 4 years. And I'm literally on the phone, lean back in the chair and look up, and there's one of those motivational posters in a frame that's on the wall. And it had the phrase written on it that I had been trying to remember for 4 years.
Oh, nice.
And it was right there in front of my eyes the whole time. So this, for me, is about so many people wanting something that they already have access to, but not having the strength, the courage, the commitment, the desire to see what's right before them.
Yep.
And I want to be an example for someone to say, yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it while I've got the time, while I've got the strength, while I've got the ability, because someday, sometime, that ability, the time, the sands, the final ones will fall through the hourglass, so to speak. And I've always said the most expensive real estate on the planet is the graveyard. All the things undone, all the ideas not brought to fruition, all the products never invented.
Right.
And it's about showing people that no matter what struggle you're going through, you can overcome it. And there's other cultures. I take for granted the things that I have. When we were in Puerto Vallarta, we went into a place and they said, you know what, let's go next door because there's air conditioning.
Right.
And it was so surreal to me how much we take for granted in this country. You know, they say that the saying first world problems.
Yes.
Well, you may have first world problems, but you can't appreciate them until you understand second and third world issues. So I also want to experience that. I want to bring my kids along for the ride. You know, the first time I was out of the country, you know, I was 40.
Right.
And I want my kids to go for a week here and a week there, and I want them to experience other cultures and learn things. I want them to learn Spanish from Spanish-speaking people. And I want to see all of those things happen for them, and I want to set the example for other people to follow us.
So let me ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
Number one, you're a small business owner.
Right.
Small business owners don't have big staffs. How do you run your business? So there might be people out there saying, well, gee, I'd love to go too, but I have a business to run. I have responsibilities here. How do you reconciliate that and make that work for you?
So the person next to me, her name is Jane Doe, if you're searching on Indeed for her. But what I will tell you, and this was really hard for me, is you find people in your staff that you can trust. You empower them to do what they're capable of doing. And then I'm going to let you in on the hardest secret of my life.
I know what
You
it
ready?
is already. Let go. Yes, I do that. Can I add one other thing?
Yeah.
I think, again, like there's so many good things that are coming out of COVID if we just allow ourselves to see them.
COVID, flat out, will be the best
Yes.
thing that ever happened
Yes.
to me.
So one of the good things that it taught me is
Not to be disrespectful to anybody
we
else.
used to do all our work one-on-one, face-to-face. Now, because of COVID, we've learned how to operate our business through Zoom meetings and Google Meetups. So while we're away, we can still conduct business at a similar level as if we were here, because COVID gave us a new way to approach our business, which then opened the doors for travel.
Yeah. Can we shift gears a little bit
Sure.
and then come back to that? So we are in, I don't want to say a fight because I don't think it's a fight, but right now we are having a disagreement with the city of St. Louis. And I want to talk about that for just a minute. For those of you that don't understand, the co-working business model, we're not landlords. But the easiest way to describe it is we're landlords, right?
Right.
It's kind of like a gym membership, but the difference is the membership takes the place of a lease. So we have roughly 100 businesses that at any one time have called NexCore home. Each of those businesses have a right to be here. They pay for the right to be here. They own and operate their own business.
Right.
They have their own address. The only thing that they share in common is the front door. Very similar to an apartment complex that somebody walks into. And we received a call from, or a visit from the health department for the city of St. Louis because somebody in here that was an independent business owner was not wearing their mask. And my response was, it is not our ability, responsibility, requirement. We can't police what the business does.
Can you police your employees?
I mean, you can to a degree, and you have a responsibility to make sure that they have an environment that is comfortable and proper safety precautions are followed. And we have. The building is cleaned every single day, thoroughly, top to bottom. We have the ability to social distance as much as you would like. But at the end of the day, some of our employees ride in cars together. They drive together.
Right.
They sit together. They go to lunch together. If they're going to sit 5 feet apart, they're going to sit 5 feet apart. And quite frankly, so be it. Right? We have made the environment as safe as we can make it for everybody involved. But that being said, I don't wear a mask inside the building when I'm talking with you. I also ride in the car with you at least 5, 6, 7, 8 times a week when we're going places. So this, to me, is a challenge that we're faced with. And I don't know how I even really got off on this subject talking about it, but what what I will say is, as a small business owner, you have to have people that you can trust. And our team, Toy, Taylor, Gabe, Jen, amazing. We've got some other people on the team that do side projects and things like that for us, but we have an incredible team that we have put together. And at the end of the day, as a small business owner, you have to trust and empower them, because the real measure of the success as a business owner is that the business performs better in your absence than it does in your presence.
True.
And that's an old kind of test of time. And if you ever want your business to get away from you, you have to be able to duplicate yourself. And so let's say I know I'm going to give 100% effort. And I know that I believe, and Larry, I'll use you as an example, so I don't name anybody else. If I think Larry is 50% as good at doing something that I'm doing, you have a choice. Do you want the 100% or do you want the 50%? And the average entrepreneur is going to say, I need the 100%. But the small business owner is going to say, I need 3 50%ers, because their 50% equals 150%. And I'd rather have the effort of 100 people working on my team than me being responsible for everything. So we have done really, really, really well hiring, because we haven't done really well hiring. We've hired some people
But
that
also,
weren't great.
wouldn't you agree that if it wasn't for COVID and the way that we shifted doing our business to online meetings with clients, that we still probably wouldn't take the time off consecutively as we're doing now? We may have taken a vacation for a week, but we wouldn't take a trip for a week and then 2 or 3 weeks later take another trip and another trip and another trip. I think COVID...
We couldn't have.
Right. COVID has given us the ability to look at our business with a fresh set of eyes. And as a result, it's changed the way we do business, which then, as a result, has expanded our horizon. So instead of feeling restricted and
Extreme ownership,
contained by how COVID has changed our business, we've looked at it as it's an opportunity for growth, expansion, and adventure.
Yeah, and we're looking at locations, literally all over the world.
As a result.
Right. So we have a trip that we will be planning at some point soon back to Puerto Vallarta. We have 3 people that we've already talked to about positions with NexCore or one of our other companies there.
Right.
And that would have never even been in the realm of possibility if we felt we had to be on site, hands-on with everything. So I still think Jen should produce a T-shirt for us that says ... but then COVID. And on the back, it could say, everything great happened because. And I look at, like, you would have never been on a Zoom meeting. In fact,
I even know how to set up meetings now.
You do?
Kind of. On Google Meetup, I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You just press add video conferencing.
But I didn't know that.
Right. You're doing fine. No, you're doing great.
Yeah.
But we were all served the same papers.
Yeah.
And it's how you choose to respond to what you were served that makes a difference. But you asked about one thing, so I'll wrap up with this. We have a staff now through lots of mistakes, and rest assured we'll continue to make some. But we've got the best staff. In fact, I will go out and say my staff is better than your staff, right? We have the best staff in the industry, and the reason why is because they've got to go through the mistakes with us, and they stuck with us through the challenges, and we stuck with them through their challenges and their mistakes. But then COVID made us all stronger, more willing to take leaps and risks. And
I gotta say, honestly, and feel free to disagree with me, but I think you'll agree.
I agree.
Our business is so much stronger now because of COVID. I think like I said, when something negative happens, it births a clarity. I think we've gotten really clear in our business. I feel we're in the best position to grow. We have more strategic planning. We've got more vision. We have a better staff. All of that because of COVID.
Because of COVID. No.
No, not because of COVID. Because
disagree.
of how we responded.
Yes.
Because as you said, everybody's dealt the same hand with this.
Yeah, and the answer to all the questions of what went fill in the blank in 2020 is COVID.
Yes.
If you say what went terribly wrong in 2020, you will have people that will say COVID. And if they ask us what went incredibly right in 2020, we'll say COVID. And again, not to be disrespectful to those that lost their lives or continue the fight or have family members that were impacted. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is whatever happens, happens. What you do about it is all you have control over.
Yeah.
And that is extreme ownership. Yeah. And I want to give just one more incredible shout out to our team.
Yes.
And as we continue to grow and evolve, the only reason we're able to do it is because of the efforts of these incredible people that call NexCore home. And in light of that, I think it's only fair to say I don't know what the future of this NexCore building looks like because of COVID, because of our stance, because of the battle with the city. I mean, there's a good chance they're going to come shut us down.
Yes.
And if they do, they do.
Right.
Because we will evolve, we will expand, we will move. Can you come in here for 1 second? We are live. Can I bring you in here while we're live?
Hey.
While we're live.
Yeah, come on. Come back here. So I want to give a shout out. So I said this today. Maybe some of you saw it. Maybe some of you didn't. But our approach, there is a line between whether or not people agree with it or disagree with it, with how we're approaching some of the requirements the city is putting on us. I don't want to say requirements, restrictions, covenants, shackles, chains. Those are the words I'll use. But I want to give a shout out to someone, and I encourage you on Sunday, August
29th,
to get your butt to St. Louis. I don't care if you live in Singapore, Dubai. Come to St. Louis on Sunday, August 29th.
Go to Rain.
And go to Rain
REIGN, Washington Avenue.
So
for brunch.
Let me just
Brunch is amazing.
Share one thing.
We will be there.
What we all want as business owners is someone else to sing our praises, right? We want someone to say, I'm so proud of what you've done, or I'm so pleased with my experience that I want to tell someone else. So what happened to the lady that you see in the picture right now, Dana Kelly, is somebody did that. Somebody was on, and you feel free to interject if I get something wrong, but someone was on a live video that they were doing, and they pulled their mask down to make a comment while on the live video, and then ended the live video. And that was used to shut her restaurant down. Now look, I have very, very strong political beliefs. And I will tell you that I'm pretty vocal about my political beliefs. But here's a statement that is bipartisan. The reality is, this young lady right here is running against our current mayor, has announced her candidacy for mayor for the city of St. Louis.
Yes.
And it's ironic to me that someone in a restaurant where you're allowed to not have a mask on when you're sitting down eating, but you're required for the 11-foot walk to put one on, but that's neither here nor there. Someone that's going against our incumbent mayor was shut down for a single situation of a live video where someone was promoting the business and the great food and the great experience they had. If you think that's right, I'll challenge the first part of that sentence. If you think it's wrong, then show up at Rain on Sunday. This is impromptu, but go there. The best success and revenge that you can help someone achieve is more success. So support her with your dollars, with your money. NexCore will be there in force on Sunday. We're bringing as many people as we can gather, no more than 10 in a party. And we will have masks on for the 11-foot walk to the table, which is by far the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my entire life. But we will be there in compliance and in support. So I encourage you to go out to Rain and listen, guys, support small businesses. We do what we do and we sacrifice what we can sacrifice because we want to create better lives and legacies for our children. And here's a lady that was doing just that, but not only doing that, trying to create a legacy and a cause for change in the city of St. Louis, and flat out, in my opinion, was targeted. So support her, go out, help her be successful with her restaurant, and show the people in power that power is a gift that you are given and it shouldn't be abused, because right now, all over the country, it's being abused, it's being mishandled, and people like Dana Kelly are being mistreated. So I encourage you to step up, step out, go support this and every other small business. Home Depot doesn't need your money. People like Denali Paint, brand new location out in St. Charles. All of the other businesses, the 100 businesses that call NexCore home that are in danger of being shut down by the actions of the city. But just know, if you shut us down in the city, we will take those businesses out of the city. It's our tax dollars that are at risk. I didn't mean to get on a soapbox, but Dana, we love you.
Yes.
I think what happened to you is awful.
Thank you.
But this is our impromptu guest
Dana
tonight.
Kelly.
Dana Kelly, future mayor of the city of St. Louis.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for everything you do.
All right.
All right. Have a good evening.
You have a good evening, too.
See you
Thank
later.
you.
I don't even know how long we've been on the show. Are we approaching an hour?
Oh, yeah, you're past it.
We're past an hour.
Yeah.
So, Larry, you should stop talking. You're over talking, or maybe that's me. But I'm going to give you the final words. I don't know if you have a quote put together or something that you want to share. We didn't talk about that. We kind of ran this from the heart and off the cuff. But I'm going to let you close it out, my friend.
Yeah. So, two things. If anyone is still watching besides Jim's mom, we would love to hear your comments.
And if she sees you're likely to get a friend request. I apologize.
We'd love to hear your comments about the show. Also, side note, in the next couple weeks, we're going to be developing some type of interactive component where if you have a situation that is challenging to you, whether you're struggling with something, let us know what it is and let us see if we can help change your perspective on it. And then my final thought, and I'll leave you with this quote, is a happy life is a string of happy moments, but most people miss the happy moments because they're so busy trying to get a happy life.
Amen.
This is Larry. That's Jim.
And hey, listen, I couldn't
That's Jen.
imagine, that's Jen, but you can't see her. I see just a picture of her every time I look at my phone, and she's got a hat on like this. But I will share this. I think, again, we have the best team that has ever been assembled in this industry. And for those of you that don't know exactly what NexCore does, we are your partner in business for things that you need in the way of branding, marketing, support, space, virtual and business solutions. Really, any piece of the business wheel that you need to complete so that you can have a smooth ride, that's what NexCore does. And I encourage you to reach out to us for one of two things. Number one, if you or someone you know is in a situation like Dana Kelly, where maybe you feel targeted or that you're doing everything you're supposed to do right and the city is still targeting you, we want to share your message. But the second thing is, if you feel like your business needs a boost or is going through a struggle, I'd love to invite you onto this show to talk about the struggles that you're going through. And maybe one of the companies in our wheelhouse, partners that we have, can help you offer advice and solutions and support. We've got some pretty amazing statistics about the businesses that are impacted once they have an opportunity to come across the NexCore platforms. Hundreds of thousands of exposures for the businesses, increase in revenue and reviews. Those are all just fundamental, basic beginnings. But we want to hear from you, and we want to hear about you. Feel free to reach out to NexCore at 314-635-0500, or you can reach us at hello@thenexcore.com. And then, Jen, I think we probably have do we have any more sponsors we need to share?
Revitalize.
We do have Revitalize. So we want to give a shout out. Look for some exciting new things coming from Revitalize. So I don't even know if the Revitalize promo would be appropriate based on
maybe not
what they have. So let's just say this. Revitalize St. Louis is about to take a new step. Larry and I are grateful and happy to be sitting on the board for Revitalize, and some exciting new things coming from them. But other than that, I think this is an appropriate time to sign off, unless Jen needs more time to stall for me to find the particular moment in time that she is looking for. Whatever it takes. Hey, this is a Supplement Superstore shirt. S2, baby. All right, St. Louis.
Thank you.
Homegrown. We'll see you next week for more of the Jim and Larry Show.